I would say it's very affordable. For two people, we spent, it was an affordable trip. To be honest, it was an affordable trip. That's the bad part. You're going to drive for 4 good hours. I'm like, why does everybody have two pins? Like, why? I'm like, why? What's going on? What's going on? Because someone explained to me what's going on. That we should take it. I'm like, are you serious? We're going to take it. Everybody in the store was just smiling. They're like, we should go. We should take it. I'm like, we're really going to walk out with this thing, and you guys must not scream that we stole it. Hi guys, welcome to another exciting video. So good to be here once again. Today is my first official sit down video since I became consistent here on YouTube, and I have received a couple of requests regarding this particular video. First of all, for those that are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Teniola and I film videos on everything lifestyle. For returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming back, and for those that are here to subscribe, please do well to subscribe. Click the subscribe button now. We'll wait for you. So please click the subscribe button. Don't forget to like my video. It helps the YouTube algorithm suggest my video to other people, and share my video, drop a comment if you found this very helpful. And now that the intro is out of the way, let's get into today's video. As you can already tell from the title of today's video, I'm going to be talking about some essential travel tips if you ever choose to visit Albania. So if you've not seen my Albania travel vlog, I'm going to link it up here so you can go and watch it. A couple of people reached out to me asking questions about Albania, and I just felt it would be helpful for me to make this video where other people can always refer to it and find it helpful, and when anybody reaches out to me, I can just send the video to them. In fact, it was someone that gave me the idea. The person said, instead of just responding to these questions one-on-one, why don't you just film a video where you can always refer people to? So that's why they're here. And in the spirit of Vlogmas, I decided to be very, what am I going to say? What do they call it now? In the spirit of Vlogmas, I decided to be very helpful and share my knowledge and experience with people. I recently visited Albania, and I would say personally, it was an amazing experience for me. I really enjoyed myself. I would say we chose to visit Albania. I went with my husband, by the way, and we chose to visit Albania because it was one of those countries that we could visit easily without having to apply for a visa. If you have your UK BRP, which is like a residence permit, you don't need to apply for a visa to visit Albania. And Albania, Montenegro, Malta, I think these are countries you don't particularly need to apply for a visa, but please do your own research. It was an enjoyable trip for us. We had an amazing time. It was too good. It was so good. In fact, I was saying that if you've seen my vlog, I'm sure you would have seen where I was talking about how I want to retire there. But I mean, I'm sure I'll visit so many other countries and I'll change my mind, but Albania was so good. I'll go into details about my experience at the end of this video. Without further ado, I'm just going to get into the meat of the matter. I will share things I wish I knew before I travel to Albania, as well as helpful tips for anyone who is planning to visit Albania. One of the questions I got from a couple of people was, how did the people of Albania treat us as black people? And I'm like, we didn't even get any sense that, oh, we are black people and they're treating us in a different way or in a weird manner. We didn't get any of that. They treated us like every other person. We didn't get any, you know the word, I'm going to put the word here. We didn't get any of that vibe, right? It was really cool. People were very kind to us, very kind. We had several instances where people would give us things for free. I mean, we walked into a store, we wanted to buy something and they gave us for free. I'm going to go into details of that later. But they gave it to us for free, and we're like, are you serious? We're taking it to say yes, take it for free. We had instances where people would help us with our luggage. Taxi driver would be nice to us. So if you're a black person and you're worried about how people will treat you if you go to Albania, from my own experience, it was good. We didn't have to worry about any of that, and it's also a very safe country. So we'll talk more about the details later. Let's quickly delve into the essential travel tips, things you need to know before you visit Albania. First of all, money. Albania is one of those countries that I've heard is quite affordable. However, if you're visiting Albania, it is essential that you change money to their currency. First of all, they spend both lek and euros in Albania. Lek is their local currency, and euros is one other currency that they spend. So if you're coming from the UK, you need to convert pounds to euros so you can spend euros. One mistake that we made is we didn't convert a lot of money because we thought, oh, we can always pay with our card. While some places accept card, most places accept cash. We converted money from the post office here in the UK, but when we got to Albania, when we got to the airport, we also changed some money to lek. When we got to Albania, we started exploring places, visiting places. We quickly ran out of cash and we had to start using the ATM to withdraw. And the more you withdraw from the ATM, the more they charge you. So the charges were quite on the high side. So you need to bear that in mind. So if you're traveling to Albania, it's better for you to go with more cash and end up not using a lot than for you to go with less cash and having to withdraw with your card. But if you choose to withdraw your card, your UK card can work there because we used our UK card and it worked there. So you don't have to bother about that. By the way, I have my notes here, so I'm looking at my phone. Another thing you need to note is internet. Of course, when you're traveling to another country or a different region, chances are your local internet provider or a local network might not work in that country or in that region. So for us, our UK SIM cards did not work in Albania. However, before we traveled to Albania, we got to know about this eSIM called Olafly. I'm going to put it here. It's called Olafly, and Olafly works in several countries. I'll put the specific number up here, and we were able to use Olafly throughout our stay in Albania. Whenever we needed to use internet outside of the Airbnb, because in the Airbnbs we had access to Wi-Fi, and we did this before we left the UK, such that by the time we got to Albania, it was already activated. By the time we landed in Albania, it was already activated. Tip number 3. This one is very, very important because I didn't know this before I traveled to Albania. I saw someone briefly talk about it on TikTok, but I didn't know it was that serious until I got to Albania. So I was trying to look for the sockets before I filmed this video, but I couldn't find it in the house. But I'll try to look for a picture and put it here so you can see what I'm trying to say. You know this adapter that has 3 pins? Now, there's another one that has just 2 pins. It is very, very important. Let me stress it. Come closer. It is very, very important that you pick the adapter with 2 pins when you're traveling to Albania. It's going to save you from a lot of stress. If you've watched up to this point and you're here to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe. Please click the subscribe button now and give this video a thumbs up if you found it very helpful. I didn't know this. When we got to Albania, when we got to our Airbnb, of course, our phones were already very low. Our batteries were almost running out. So I was rushing to charge my phone, only to discover that all the sockets, there were like 6 to 7 sockets in the studio, and none had 3 pins. All of them had just 2, and we didn't have that adapter. And our chargers did not have 2 pins, so it didn't even make sense. We're like, why would they have this type of thing? So I texted the Airbnb owner, and she told me that, oh, we didn't come with the adapter. I said, yeah, we didn't come with the adapter. I said, oh, that's the mistake everybody keep making, that we they don't really use the 3 pins in Albania, so it's mostly 2 pins. So we had to get the adapter, and it was midnight. We got to Albania past midnight, so there was no place to get it around the time. So I would advise that you get the 3 pins, the 2 pins adapter. I'll put a picture here for reference. This is very, very, very important. Even when we went to get the car the next day, the office of the place where we went to rent the car, the office, they also did not have the 3 pins, it was two. I'm like, why does everybody have 2 pins? Like, why? If you know why, please let me know in the comment section, because I couldn't understand. Even in other Airbnb we stayed at, the villa, same thing, just 2 pins everywhere we went to. Even when we went to a restaurant, same thing, 2 pins. I'm like, what's going on? Can someone explain to me what's going on? The story I referenced when I was like, people were being so kind to us. Well, the next day when we left that particular Airbnb, we went to get the car. I'm going to get to that later. And we went to a store we walked into a store where they sell gadgets and stuff. I wanted to buy the adapter with 2 pins, and then because they didn't really speak English, we tried to describe what we wanted. We brought out our charger. We were showing them that we needed one with two. All the time we were trying to use signs to communicate. And then the guy was like, oh, this, he brought it out and showed us. We're like, yeah, exactly, that's it. And then he gave us, we're like, oh, how much? He said, no worries, that we should take it. We're like, are you serious? We're going to take it. Everybody in the store were just smiling. They were like, we should go, we should take it. I'm like, we're really going to walk out with this thing, and you guys must not scream that we stole it. They're like, no, you can actually go with it. And that just goes to show how kind these people are. And he gave it to us for free. We didn't have to pay a dime for it, and he gave it to us for free. So I would say, don't forget to go with your 2-pin adapter. It will save your life. It will save you from a lot of stress. Tip number 4 is rent a car. I would say rent a car, especially if you plan to visit the south of Albania. Rent a car. It is very important that you rent a car. The city center of Albania is called Tirana, and that's where we landed. We landed in the Tirana airport. However, there are other parts of Albania where people tend to visit as well. So if you want to get that vacation, pools, beachy vibes, you need to go to the south of Albania. And so we have Sarande, we have Samil, we have Durres, we have Vlor. So these are places where people tend to visit if you want to get the vacation, beachy vibes. Those are the happening places, and these places are out of Tirana, so it's quite a distance from Tirana to visit these places. So I would advise you to rent a car. We rented a car, and we rented an SUV, and I would say that was a very good choice, because where we stayed was like up the mountains. By the way, this place has a lot of mountains. They build houses on mountains and hills and things like that. So where we stayed was like up the mountains. The car we rented really saved us, because we were able to navigate the roads. The roads were quite hilly and at the top, so we didn't feel the bumps in the road while in the car, because we rented an SUV. So I would say you should rent a car. And if you're going to stay in places like that, you need to know the exact location of your Airbnb. If you're going to stay in places like that, then you need to rent a car that would be comfort to us were very important. So we had to rent the SUV. And another thing I would say with the car is you need a driver's license. So my husband used his international driver's license, which you got in Nigeria, so you can use that. That's acceptable as well if that's what you have. You don't necessarily have to get like a UK driver's license to drive in Albania. So we used that. And then another key thing is the roads are very narrow. I mean, when I say very, compared to the UK or compared to Nigeria, the roads are quite narrow, so you have to be a very good driver or an experienced driver. And again, the roads are like up hills. Like I said, it's like, how to explain this? In the Albania travel vlog, you would see how the roads were, they looked so narrow. There are so many twists and turns. It was a whole lot. And finally, the final tip is the weather. The weather when we went was quite hot. In fact, we went in September and it was quite hot still. Almost all the outfits I wore, if you have watched my vlog, the Albania travel vlog, you see that almost all the outfits I wore were like sleeveless, and that's because it was quite hot even in September. So you need to pack appropriate outfits when you're going to Albania. I would say those are like the key travel tips I would give for anyone who decides or who intends to travel to Albania. In terms of how we were able to plan our trip and why we chose Albania, we wanted to, first of all, like I said earlier, we wanted to go to a place where we don't necessarily have to apply for visa and all of that. Albania was one of our choices. We had other choices as well, but Albania was our top choice at the moment, at the time. And then two, how we were able to secure our bookings, our Airbnbs, because we booked two different Airbnbs. We stayed in Tirana and we booked that Airbnb through bookings.com. So just go to bookings.com and you would see different choices. We stayed in Tirana and we got our Airbnb on bookings.com. And one thing that guided our decision, we didn't settle for anything below 9.0 star. And then we booked different apartments. So you sometimes on bookings.com you're able to book Airbnbs without necessarily using a card to hold your booking. So we did that, and some would require that you pay before you can even book those dates. We didn't do any of that. We didn't pay anything before we got to Albania. We only paid after we only paid when we were about to leave the Airbnb. If you need details on the specific Airbnb we stayed at, you can always reach out to me. I would be more than happy to give you details because we had an amazing time there. The host was lovely, very good, very helpful. You know, I said that we couldn't charge our phone. She sent her mom to give us a charger. Although the charger didn't work, but I mean, the gesture in itself was very kind. And then another thing, in terms of how we got the car on bookings.com as well. We also rented it on bookings.com. I was chatting with the Airbnb host before we left the UK, and we got an upgrade. So our room got upgraded because apparently the room we had booked was different from what I wanted. I didn't know that it was different, so we just booked any room. So later, when it was like a day before we traveled, he texted us to say, "Oh, this is the room we booked." I'm like, "Oh, no, this is not what we want." Then I sent a picture to him on what we want. He was like, "Oh, that's another room," although we have to add a few extra bucks to the cost. But yeah, and in terms of how affordable Albania is, I mean, I would say it's very affordable. For two people, we spent, I'm not going to say specific amounts, but it was quite affordable. It was an affordable trip, to be honest. It was an affordable trip. For accommodation, we spent less than 200 euros on accommodation, both the one in Tirana and the one in Sarande, less than 200 euros. On the car itself, we also spent less than 200 euros renting the car for like 4 days, and it was too good. It was too good. In terms of the people they are very kind. At some point when our battery was low and my phone literally went off, and it was my phone we were using to navigate the road, we had to enter a filling station where they sell fuel, and the man didn't speak English, but we're explaining to him, we're showing him our charger, we showed him the phone that was there. It was like, it was now like, "Oh, you need to charge." He said it in their language, and it was like, then he pointed to the food. We said, "Yes, that's what we want to do." Then he took us to one place and we were able to charge, and it was like, Pepsi, Coke. We're like, "Oh, no, we are fine, we don't need to drink anything, let's just charge and go." So people are that kind, people are that helpful, so you don't need to worry about that. In terms of affordability, it's very affordable, like I said. And What else is there to say about Albania? All in all, it was a good trip, great weather. We went in September and it was amazing. We did a couple of activities. We went to different beaches. We went to like 6 beaches. We went to different restaurants. Of course, again, we used Google to look for restaurants. We went to we had a few hours to spare. We did a cable car in Tirana. We explored in our Tirana a bit. So I'll just say it was a good trip. It was a short trip, but we made the most of it. And another thing I need to say before I end this vlog is that if you plan to go to Sarande from Tirana, you land in Tirana, just know that you're going to drive for 4 hours. That's the bad part. You're going to drive for 4 good hours. So first off, you need to be an experienced driver to be able to drive and navigate that road. And secondly, you must be strong enough. Pray for strength if you want to go that distance. However, the experience in Sarande itself will compensate for all the stress you would go through. So enjoy. That's all I have to say on Albania. I hope I have answered all your questions. All of you in my DMs, now come to my DM to be asking me questions. You will not drop the question in my comment section. You'll be dropping it in my DM. While I appreciate it because it means you're watching my video, I would say please ask the question in my comment section so that other people can see that people are actually asking these questions and I don't just in my DMs. But if you feel more comfortable asking my DM, I don't mind. Thank you for watching my videos regardless. But yeah, if you have any more questions, anything that I've not answered, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. I reply to all my comments. I mean, I do. Please, so do well to drop me a comment if you have any more questions. So guys, that's going to be everything on Albania. I don't think I'll be doing another vlog about Albania. This one wasn't even planned, if not for the questions I got. So please, thank you so much. I do appreciate the questions. Please keep them coming. If you have anything you want me to explain or clarify, I'm more than happy to do that. And if you also want access to our itinerary, because we had like a full itinerary, please let me know. I'm more than happy to share with you. And that will be it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video, and do well to comment if you found this very helpful. And I'll see you in my next vlog. Bye.